Hey there, everyone. Welcome to this week's angel reading. I'm Rachel Scoltock, and I'm looking forward to giving you some angel messages for the week ahead. You might notice that I've changed my location a little bit, and I'm feeling it's a little bit echoey here, so you'll have to excuse the echoey. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Michelle. Big week ahead. So whilst everyone's coming on, hi, Michelle. Hi, Kylie. Another Kylie. Mark, welcome. I'll get the cards out for us, and we can start to talk about what's going on with the energy this week, what the angels want us to know this week. Hi, Janelle, Sania, welcome. And what the messages that the angels have for everybody this week. So, hey, Ariane, here you are. Ariane messaged me earlier to find out how to do this. So I'm doing this a little bit earlier today. I've just had quite a busy morning, quite a bit going on. And I presume you can all hear me. Hi, Sumi, welcome. So I've got the Archangel Oracle cards out first, which are Adoring Virtue deck, a very old one. I've got the beautiful Rebecca Campbell Work Your Life Oracle cards, and I've got as backup some mermaid cards as well, because the energy is very watery at the moment, what with the full moon and all of the intense energies going on. So I was having a conversation this morning, and I was getting my nails done, and we were talking about how even people that are not necessarily considering themselves spiritual or energetically sensitive are really feeling this intensity, feeling a bit groggy, woozy, lightheaded, can't focus, feeling generally ungrounded today. And that's because of this big transition, this big shift that's taking place that is aligning with this really huge moon event. Good morning, Peter, or afternoon, sorry, I'm late. So hi, Therese. So this intense, I'm not an astrologer by any stretch of the imagination, but I am an energy expert. I'm an energy sensitive, and I download information and messages. So what is it that we most need to know about this shift in this energy is what is going to come through in today's reading. And also, you know, the greatest advice I can give you is to ground yourself, to properly come into contact, spirit to body. Bring the energy out of your busy mind. Make sure that you're disconnecting from too much computer, too much telephone, too much scrolling, all of that, so that you're not losing your energy without being, you know, grounded. Often when we're in our heads too much or we're connecting too much with technology, we actually start to seep and leak energy really fast. We lose voltage. And that's why it can feel really, really draining. Hi, Sue and Kayleen, thanks for joining. So be really careful over the coming 5 days. I feel like the intensity is going to pass in 5 days, and it will get steadily a little bit easier after today and tomorrow. But really be conscious of yourselves, especially if you're getting into a car or you're doing anything that requires concentration and focus. You take some deep breaths, that you make sure you've eaten something healthy, and that you are not drinking too much caffeine, and that you feel grounded in your body before you do anything that's stressful or important and that really needs your focus. So grounding, really important at the moment. Making sure that you're taking note of your dreams. Intense dreams can happen at this time, because this is the time where the angels are showing me it's like a parting of the ways, if you like. We're peeling away layers of energy that don't serve us anymore. We're letting go of situations, relationships in particular, or just ways of being. It doesn't have to be the whole relationship. It doesn't have to be, you know, a massive change in your external life, but it feels like it's more of a shift that affects you internally, where you start to act and be a little bit more different because your perspective alters. You go through a paradigm shift in your mind, and you start to see things a little bit differently. You might start to see, okay, there is something that I've been doing for my life for the last 10 years which doesn't serve me in relationships or in my workplace or in my you know, any relationships, not just your romantic relationships. And I need to make that shift now. And as soon as you start to see it differently, you will feel that change in your life and things will become a little bit easier. So it's like an earthquake almost that opens up a gap where you can see the difference between the old life, the old you, the things that you want to let go of, and the new version of what you are becoming, what you've become, what you want to become. It becomes a lot more obvious. So there's a lot that's leaving us at this time, and it's not just leaving us individually, it's leaving us en masse. So if you're spiritually connected, you're someone that's aware of yourself, you're aware of how your energy feels, and you are always growing, you start to recognize, you know, different themes, if you like, of the way that things change and the things that are happening in the world and how that mirrors you in your own life. So we're starting to leave behind the sense of being responsible for other people. I'm not talking about your children, I'm not talking about the people that you take care of in your life. I'm talking about when you take over responsibility for, maybe as a healer, maybe as a friend, maybe as a mother, maybe as a father, where you literally load yourself with other people's problems and cares and worries, and even their addictions and their bad habits and the things that they need to be learning for themselves. And you start to honor their process and recognize that is where they are meant to be. And I'm not going to judge them for it. I don't have to think of myself as better or worse than anyone. But I also don't have to try and do it for them, and I don't have to carry their entire burden, because we do know, you know, there's a word called enabling that light workers have been doing for centuries, which is where we've taken the issues of other people, and instead of helping them to heal them, we've carried too much of the burden that they haven't gone forward and healed them themselves. So there's a point where people have to start to recognize what they're doing so that they can then heal themselves, and they need to be willing to heal themselves. And if we do everything, then as healers, we're actually not doing a good job, because we're not allowing the entire person to heal. We are basically shouldering it all. Well, there's a lot of people online. Thank you so much. If I've missed you and said good morning, haven't said good morning to you, I acknowledge you. I see you here. So this is part of the shift that we're going through at the moment. And one of those things is in relationships. And we're recognizing the relationships that are unhealthy for us, but we're also recognizing how we are being unhealthy in our relationships. So are you being maybe over responsible? Are you carrying? Are you trying to people please too much? Are you putting your own needs last? And that is teaching people that that's what, you know, they can do to you. Maybe you're expecting people to read your mind and understand what you want, and you've got to learn communication. You've got to say what it is you want instead of waiting or getting resentful or imagining that it's normal for them to get that. So you have to really shift your thinking and recognize, if I'm having a pattern happening in my relationships or things that I am experiencing regularly, maybe there's a part of me that I need to shift, and that ripple effect is going to help enlighten others. And that's really the bigger picture. Hi, Ida, Rhonda. That's the bigger picture of this, is that when we shift, the people in our lives will begin to shift too. And okay, some of them might shift out, but others will start to shift their own reality and their own, recognize what they can do to change. It's not about blame, it's not about fault finding, that's old paradigm stuff. It's about taking responsibility. So that's one of the things. Hey, Natalie, one of the things that we're really learning at this moment. Now, you might also be feeling that you're not as attracted to some things that you used to be, or you're getting sort of in this no man's land of like, I used to be excited about this, this, and this, but I'm not feeling so excited about it anymore. And you're looking for things to grab you. And that's okay. It's just showing you that you're in the middle of that shift. Remember, it's like a parting of the ways, and then we come back together again in some new way. So you'll start to see what it is coming in around February that can take you in a new direction, or will spark up your inspiration, or will bring you excitement, passion. Things have to fall into place. Hey, Patricia. Happy eclipse. So I'm going to do a little grounding exercise with you, and I'm also going to shuffle some cards and give you some guidance. But I want to start with the Archangel Oracle deck, and let's see what comes up for you. And I'm listening very much to the angels at the moment talking to me. So sometimes they're very chatty, like today. I'm getting lots of messages. Hey, Susan. I'm getting lots of messages for you. So take a deep breath. Make yourself as receptive and open as possible to receive this message, because it might not be entirely, the whole message might not be for you. There might be just a little bit of it, or it might trigger you in your thoughts and remind you of something which will be the guidance for you, because the angels work with you individually, not just me. Us gathering here together is an angel gathering. We're connecting together, and we're making this really powerful antenna that's bringing in the angelic messages. And so Natalie says these are one of her favorites, these cards. I could not stop thinking about these this morning. Okay. Got it. All right. So look at the card that came out. Now I just want you to absorb before you look at you've already looked at the words, what am I saying? But don't focus on the words for a moment. Focus on, look at that. I'm going to take them away from you. Look at the picture. Here we have Archangel Raziel, who is a super powerful archangel who helps us to understand ourselves inside out. So he helps us to understand ourselves from the soul outwards. Don't we normally try to understand people from the outside in? And it's only when we get to the soul we start to really understand them. But the Archangel Raziel wants you to see yourself as a soul first. This is the message today. See yourself as a soul first. And the very strong image that I'm getting at the moment is, remember that we're all traveling on this journey together. So whether you see the soul as being like a light, that's what I'm seeing at the moment. And we're almost like little meteors, but we're all slowly moving through time and space in the cosmos, doing the work that we came here to do. And sometimes we're conscious of that work. We have a synchronistic event, we meet someone, we sign up for a course, a program, a job, a business, and we feel it in our bones, we're doing that work. But other times we don't realize we're doing the work. But the angels want you to know that you are doing the work. And part of your work, imagine this is kind of, you've signed up for a huge job, and you're going to get really super well paid for it, and it's going to bring you all the benefits that you want. But you've got to go through basic training before you get up to the next level, before you get to the good stuff. So this is, some of us are in basic training. So this basic training is become aware of your soul. This is what they're asking us to do right now. And this isn't saying, okay, you slid back to part one, and you know, if you're 50 years old or 20 years old or 70 years old, it doesn't matter. It's just the energetic shift. Remember divine timing. When we plant a carrot, we can't go outside and dig it up and dig up a carrot. We've got to wait for the seed to create the carrot. So divine timing is what this energetic shift, the eclipse, the moon, all of that stuff that's going on right now is creating a moment of divine timing where you are becoming much more aware of yourself as a soul having a physical experience. So Raziel is here radiating this gorgeous light, giving you this energy and helping you to remember things about yourself that you need on this journey. Maybe they are passions, maybe it's a past life that you've been through, maybe it's, you know, we all have a spiritual purpose, a personal purpose, and a purpose of meaning and a legacy, if you like. So part of your spiritual personal purpose is that you're learning important lessons. This is what your soul needs, and it's really important that you do these things, even more important than changing the world. It's more important for you, for your soul, to learn things like forgiveness, compassion, gratitude, faith, intuition, learning to use your intuition to guide you. These are the things, and you might be feeling drawn in that direction at this moment. So anytime you feel stuck spiritually, or you don't know how to decipher a dream or a spiritual message, a psychic message, then call on Archangel Raziel. He will help you to understand it, because often it comes like a download of, you know, information coded. And so our consciousness has to wrap itself around that so that it translates to something that we know and we understand. So that's why we have channels and mediums and healers, because they are people that train to understand those downloads. So then we get to the words, and it's take back your power. And I have to finish that sentence from the angels by saying, take back your power from the past. So remember the vision. It's like one of those, you know, those movies, those iconic movies about the end of the world and that kind of stuff. That's not happening, not end of the world, don't worry. End of the world as you know it, end of one paradigm into a new paradigm, is those big cracks in the earth and the earth parts. That's the vision that we're getting at the moment, and it's not a cataclysmic event. It's about your consciousness. And so you are letting go of old things that no longer belong with you in this reality, in this energy, in the energy that you want to dwell in. The person that you are becoming cannot carry the self-pity, the victimization, the unforgiveness, the resentment, the old karma. You can't carry that with you into the new. So take back your power from the past. I've got a Rich Radiant Angel Manifesting group. It's a free group on Facebook. And I put a message up last week, which you might have read about, which I asked, what do you think is holding you back from creating a rich, radiant, abundant life? And a lot of people, and there's no blame or shame here, because I've done my growth too. I've been doing that work on those things. Is a lot of people have talked about the past. I've failed in the past. I'm afraid it's going to happen again. I've been abused. I don't have great self-worth because of my upbringing. I don't trust. I don't have faith. They are all past-based, powerless viewpoints, perspectives. And that's not an insult. As I said, I've spent a lot of my life working through a lot of crap. And I held on to my past, my upbringing, the way I was raised for a very, very long time. And I've consistently done the work, consistently, that has brought me to a greater awareness of all of that. And it doesn't trigger me so much anymore. Every now and then, a little bit does. But I'm not carrying it on my shoulders, which allows me to be clearer. So take back your power from the past. What is in the past that you are blaming, feeling shame about, feeling bad about, makes you feel bad about yourself, or that you are thinking is going to recreate in your future? It's not, unless you spend a lot of time recreating it in your brain and then projecting it into your future. That's the only way it's going to really happen in your future. And how do we take back our power from the past? And this is what the angels were saying to me earlier. Talk about the past. The past was a learning curve. It was a lesson. It was a learning. It's almost like a program on your computer. You had to learn those lessons, just like I said before, divine timing. You don't get the next lesson until you've learned, you know, if you're doing a program online, they give you module 1. When you've completed it, you get module 2. This is what the past was. It was the old modules. And so what is the point of dragging all of the mistakes, all of the failures, all of the things that you're seeing as being wrong in the past? Eek, says Natalie. So whatever's in the past that is sitting in your present energy, in your consciousness, in your mind, it now needs to be released with love. And you take back your power by recognizing what the lesson was. And once you've learned the lesson, there's no way you're going to repeat it, because you don't need to repeat it. The universe won't bring it to you again, because it won't. You've done it. It's like putting you back in primary school. What would be the point of you learning your ABCs? What would be the point of doing, you know, basic numbers and additions? You've already got that. You don't need to learn that again. And so look at what the lesson was, and then bless it and let it go. If it's a person that's hurt you, there is a lesson there for you. It might be stay away from those kind of people. More likely it's that you now need to learn to forgive, or you need to learn to let things go, get them off your shoulders. Maybe it's something to do with recognizing certain energies and listening to your intuition. And it's usually really simple. It's not something really complex and like, oh my God, I've got to hold on to this. It's usually something really simple. And I think that's what holds people back sometimes. We want to analyze and pick it apart to make sure that we know why it happened. And then we feel like we won't repeat it again. But what actually happens by picking it apart is like we're having a little swim in it. You know, you see the pigs in the mud and they're like rolling and getting covered in it. We cover ourselves in it again. It enters our consciousness again. Our body and our energy doesn't recognize the difference between something that we're thinking about that's happening now or that happened in the past. And so it recreates the energy because this is an energetic universe. So we've got to let it go. It's really, really super important. So I'm just seeing what people are saying here. So is this making sense to you? Hi, Jojo. Hi, is it Sade? Or, yeah. Martin, Kerry, Suzanne, Emily. Welcome, Jody and Kate. So I'll pull you another card from this deck, and then we'll do a quick feeling before we go. So definitely for this big shift that's happening, I want you to imagine it as like all of the angels are calling in. They're calling in. They're giving you, it's like we've gathered for a huge conference, and it's an angel conference, and they're giving us a download of all of the information from the divine. And it's stuff that we really need for our lives to help us to go forward. And some of it's new, some of it's old, but we really need it. And so at this time, that's why we feel so ungrounded, because it's not just the energies, as we say, it's actually a high vibration is coming in to help and hold us, support us, give us information, give us downloads. So make sure that you're doing some meditation at this time. That's going to make you feel better. Make sure you're checking in with your mind and you're not repeating old, you know, the negative mantras when we say, oh, that always happens to me, or I'm not good enough, or I am not worthy. When you say those things, when you write them down, when you think about, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it, what you're thinking isn't actually a real thought. What you're thinking is a fear. So you could put in front of that sentence, I fear that I am not worthy. I fear that I don't deserve. I fear that I'll never get anywhere. I fear that I'm not whatever, good enough. So when you recognize it as a fear, you take a step back from it energetically. You can see it, you become aware of it. And then you can release the fear because it isn't you. When you claim something as yours by saying, I am not, or I am, or my unworthiness, or my anxiety, you start to identify it. And when you identify with it, you're claiming it as part of your energy, and that makes it that much harder for you mentally, emotionally to let it go. It doesn't make it difficult to let go, because it's never difficult to let go when you make a decision to let it go. But we believe it's difficult to let go, and so therefore you start to feel like you're stuck with those thoughts, and you're not stuck with those thoughts. Hey, Jamie, you're not stuck with those thoughts. Thanks, Emily. So we've talked about the past, we've talked about grounding, we've talked about this shift that's going on. So let's just ask if there's anything else the angels want us to know this week. Prioritize. Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is always present when we're going through these energetic shifts. All the angels are, but Metatron is one that helps us with recognizing ourselves as spiritual beings, but also in recognizing our sensitivity. He's really powerful in helping us with sacred geometric shapes and codes, helping us to understand the laws of energy in the universe and recognizing ourselves and our energy field and how our energy field interacts. So what do you get when you see that picture without the words? So priorities, that makes sense, right? You start to prioritize the things that are important, like your meditation practice, you're having time for yourself, not putting yourself last all the time, thinking about yourself as a soul with a spiritual purpose rather than being just a physical being trying to earn a living and survive on the planet. So you start to get a different perspective. But you also need to prioritize and make sure you're not packing too much into this week, because you will overwhelm yourself. So you've got to kind of slow down a bit. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to people please. People pleasing. Let's all vow to let go of people pleasing. We want people to be pleased, but we're not entirely responsible for their happiness. We are responsible for our happiness. And when you are responsible for your happiness and your happiness overflows from you and you're doing a great job and you feel good, you are naturally going to inspire happiness in others. And it won't be a draining activity. It will be just a natural bubbling, overflowing of your own happiness. And it will inspire and show other people the way instead of trying to do it yourself. So here, look at Archangel Metatron here, bringing you a gift. And what is that gift? Can you see? What do you see in that bowl that he's holding? I know what I can see. I can see a butterfly or an angel wing. And I'm seeing lots of gold. But I'm feeling a lot of energy. Now, if you look behind him, he's got this beautiful scenery with the sun setting behind him. So also maybe doing some self-work, some self-energy healing in the coming evenings, because when the sun sets or the sun rises, we get these beautiful hues of color which activate our energy in our chakras. So those are the two angels we're working with this week. So let's take a moment and take a big deep breath. Knowledge and chilling out. Yes, Natalie. Yeah, I'm feeling that too. Feeling the need to put some space in between the busyness this week. So let's take a big deep breath together. Maybe uncross your legs unless you're sitting in the lotus position. Make sure your hands are open to the ceiling and relaxed. And let's call in Archangel Metatron, Archangel Raziel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael. And I've also got Uriel here as well. All the angels are gathering. And they're very excited. They're very excited. You might be able to feel that bubbling excitement around us. And they're showing me that they're standing around us as if we are together in one room. They are standing around us in a circle. And Archangel Michael is putting up a violet wall of light within that circle that protects us all individually. So imagine that you've got this beautiful column of violet light. And take a few deep breaths and take your attention to anything that was weighing on your mind, anything that you are experiencing fear, hesitation, procrastination, especially with recognizing that it's regarding the past. So the angels don't necessarily want to psychoanalyze you right now. They don't want to think about you to get too tangled up in thought. But they want you to recognize on some level that what you're worried about, what you're stuck with, or your actual fear is linked into the past in some way, a past experience, a past trauma, a fear that maybe has been planted by someone else in your past, because it's very easy to pick that up from other people. So as you breathe, take a deep breath and then be willing to release this issue, all negative energy connecting you to this issue, and its core roots, which are in the past, known or unknown, seen or unseen. And I'm seeing like a tangle of cords coming from your body, your shoulders, your chest, even your head, and going back into the past. And Archangel Michael is going to chop away those cords. So take a deep breath. I'm willing to release all my fear, all energies that are keeping me stuck, that are limiting me, that are keeping me stuck in the old paradigm, all ways in which I've over-connected to people taking responsibility for their pain or trying to take their pain into my own body. I'm willing to break those cords and let it go and be open to a new paradigm, a new way of looking at things, a new perspective, a perspective that comes from love, peace, wholeness, and worthiness. Most of our problems come from a lack of belief in ourselves or a lack of worthiness, self-doubt. And great work. Big, deep breath. And the angels are lifting these energies off of you. And I'm actually seeing them scooping them, taking them from your shoulders, your chest, your head. Beautiful work. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Anything that needs to go, doesn't belong with you. And look, even if you don't know how to fix it, if it's maybe it's a fear of receiving abundance, maybe it's a fear that you can't put your prices up because people will judge you, or anything like that, just release. Any people that you're in conflict with. Well done. Okay, and now breathe, and you will see the violet light starting to flow in. So just take your attention to the top of your head and feel this divine energy flowing through you. You're being supported by the angels. And some of you might have been noticing that you feel very compelled to clean your house, to chuck things out, to change your wardrobe, change your look. It's all part of this enormous shift that we're going through. It has ripples everywhere. Beautiful work. And now this violet light is flowing through you. So now is a really good time because Metatron is here. And you want to release any energy that is related to what you desire. So just think about what you want. What is your intention? What do you want to create? And when you think about what you want, recognize that it's already here. That the energy is already here. It's not a case of you having to climb a mountain. Good work. Angels are just cleaning out around the solar plexus, your heart, your throat, maybe your head. And I want you to take your attention to the base of your spine. Feel the energy there. It should be warm. You might be able to sense a little bit of kind of circular movement, or you might just feel you're in your body. And now send an energetic tree root. Use the violet light to send a violet tree root down from the base of your spine into the floor and into the earth underneath the building. If you're in a multi-story building, you're going to just send that straight through down into the center of the earth. Effortlessly, the angels are helping you. And imagine a big red rock in the center of the earth that has your name etched on it. It might even be in an ancient language or a symbol. You're going to wrap your purple root around your red boulder. And just think, I am in my body. I am a spiritual being having a physical experience. I feel connected to Mother Earth, and I am also connected to heaven. I am protected, I am guided, and I am clear. And so it is. And so it is. Well done. Well done, everybody. So have a beautiful, amazing week. Enjoy this shift. If you feel overwhelmed or stressed at any time, come back to grounding. Come back to clearing out your chakras. I've got a beautiful chakra meditation with grounding on my website. That is less than $10, so it's not a major purchase. There's also a few freebies on my website, so you can download one of those and have that. I always ground people in my meditations. You can do that and use your energetic tools and make sure you meditate at least once this week. Please tune in, keep a notebook next to you so you can write down the messages that come, and just really relax into this huge shift that's happening for you. It's all for your highest good. The universe has your back and your angels are there and always calling on you, and that you need to call on them. Lots of love, and I'll see you next Monday. I'm going to be away this week, but I'm back to work next week. I'm glad everyone's feeling better. Hi Kate, thank you. Thanks Susan, you're welcome. Thanks Sania, you're welcome too, Natalie. And Patricia, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Working with the angels is so powerful. And you know, people always ask me, how do you do distance healing like this? This is how it works. So thanks, Sonia. Kate says she loves the chakra clearing meditation. Thank you. Kerry, Max, I so appreciate you all being here. Thank you. And look, there's just another 10 days left on the early, super early bird special for Uluru. It's such a good price and it's such a great weekend. And I haven't spoken about this before. This energetic shift that we're going through now, one that we had at the solstice and one next January, oddly, my Uluru retreat falls dead in the middle of both of those massive shifts. And I don't believe that is a coincidence. I don't believe in accidental coincidence. You know, even the traditional owners are talking about this huge energy shift out there. So, you know, coming out to be there at that time, this isn't about marketing, because I know that everybody who needs to be there will be there. I've obviously got to talk about it, otherwise people don't know what's going on. But please get in touch with me. At the moment, there's really super cheap flights out there. The accommodation needs to be booked pretty early, and I've got a really good price on the program of 2 days. It's an immersion into the angel energy and into the ancient energy of Uluru. It's 600 million year old ancient sacred site, powerful vortex, and you will feel the energy. And I'm going to teach you how to harness that energy to use in your life, to release and to manifest what it is that you've wanted. And I can show you how to see, feel, hear, and know the presence of your angels. And you never need go back to questioning that again. So I'd love to see you there if you want to come. Angel blessings. Have a wonderful week. See you next time. Hey, Faye.